One of the great journeys in Europe is Italy by train. With today's high-speed trains, it is a quick and easy way to see Italy's great cities, museums, masterpieces, and the amazing Italian countryside. To get the biggest bang for your buck, take advantage of day trips from major cities and travel during non-peak times. Train travel in Italy can be convenient and enjoyable when booking ahead of time and taking advantage of a few tips to make your experience more comfortable and safe. In this itinerary, we'll start in Milan with a day trip to Venice and Bellagio. Then off to Florence with a half day in Pisa. Then south to Positano on the Amalfi Coast for some beach time and relaxing in the sun, with a day trip to the Island of Capri. Circling back, we'll head to Rome and then back to Milan to complete the route. At the end of this video, we'll review the various classes, travel tips, and ticketing process. Milan is a modern, cosmopolitan city built on a rich foundation of history. Recognized for fashion and design, Milan has a population of around 1.3 million people, with the Greater Milan area having a population of just over 5 million. In this itinerary, we stayed in Milan for 3.5 days, 2 of which included day trips. In the heart of the city, the Duomo di Millano is a masterpiece in Gothic design. The cathedral took 6 centuries to complete and is the 3rd largest church in the world. Tickets are available on site and can include access to the roof level for a close-up view of the statues that surround the cathedral and a bird's-eye view of Milan. The Galleria, located on the north side of the square, offers incredible architecture and luxury shopping. This is Milan, of course. Prada, Versace, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, and Armani are among the luxury brands in this 150-year-old Galleria. To the east of the Duomo, the streets are lined with entertainers, casual shopping, and restaurants. Heading northwest from the piazza, you travel along a promenade towards the Sforzesco Castle, again with plenty of retail and dining options. The Sforzesco Castle is a 15th century fortification built by the Duke of Milan and houses works by Da Vinci and Michelangelo. The castle has been renovated and enlarged over the centuries, as evidenced by the various building styles within the walls. Passing through the castle, the park provides locals and tourists alike a welcome retreat from the bustling city. You may also encounter concerts or entertainers in the park during the warmer months. It's a great place to enjoy a gelato under the shade of a tree. A short metro or tram ride will get you to the canal region of Milan. Designed by Leonardo da Vinci to facilitate transport and commerce during the Renaissance period, the canal is now lined with restaurants, galleries, and bars, and is a great place to shop and dine. Be sure to stop by for an evening aperitif before heading out on the town. One of the most popular attractions is the Last Supper, located in the Santa Maria delle Grazie. Be sure to purchase your tickets in advance from the official website. Venice is a great day trip from Milan via high-speed train. The trip will take about 2.5 hours. The Italian train system is modern and generally efficient, but be prepared for delays due to strikes and congestion. The trains will reach speeds of 300 kilometers an hour, with several stops along the way. Purchase tickets in advance through the website to ensure seating. As we traveled without luggage, we booked our seats in the second-class coach. When exiting the train station, you are presented with 2 options to get to the center of Venice, either the water taxi or walking. We chose to save some money and walk. Venice is a maze, and you may get temporarily lost a few times. Look for signs on the sides of buildings to find your way. It's about 20 minutes to the Rialto Bridge, then another 10 minutes to St. Mark's Square. The Rialto has plenty of restaurants that line the Grand Canal. Food is expensive here, so it's more economical to find a small sandwich shop on one of the side streets. If you are looking for souvenirs to take home, the Rialto does have plenty of options, but it will save you some hassle if you pick up your purchases on your way back to the train station at the end of the day. St. Mark's Square is the hub of Venice, with many of the attractions either on the square or nearby. St. Mark's Basilica, Doge's Palace, and St. Mark's Campanile, or Bell Tower, are located on the square. Booking tickets in advance is recommended to climb the tower. Tickets to the Basilica and Palace can be purchased on site. However, booking in advance will significantly reduce your time in queue. Just to the east of the square, you'll find the Bridge of Sighs and a large boardwalk up the Grand Canal. The best way to experience Venice is to wander the side streets and alleyways. Many of the less expensive stores and restaurants are hidden out of view of the main square. Of course, one of the most popular things to do in Venice is to take a gondola ride on the canal. There are plenty of options available throughout the city. If you book your ticket through a website like Expedia or TripAdvisor, you can save about 50% compared to purchasing in Venice. Rides can be shared or private and can include live musical entertainment. Only 1.5 hours north of Milan, Bellagio is a great getaway from the bustling city. Situated on the tip of a peninsula on Lake Como, Bellagio is a beautifully kept lakeside town in the Italian Alps. The easiest way to get to Bellagio is by regional train through the city of Lecco, then onward to the towns of Verona and Asino. The trip will take about 1 hour. Asino is a quaint little town on the shores of Lake Como and the port for ferries going to Bellagio. Make your way down the hill towards the shore and purchase a ferry ticket to Bellagio. While you wait, you can sip a cappuccino at the local hotel while taking in the beauty of the Swiss and Italian Alps. The ferry will take about half an hour to Bellagio, where you can try to spot George Clooney's villa along the shore, or just take in the beauty of the lake. The ferry arrives in the heart of Bellagio, where you are greeted with luxury shopping along the harborfront. Bellagio is a hillside town with plenty of steps, but it is small enough to visit the majority of it in just a few hours. This is a town where you can aimlessly wander without getting lost. There are a variety of stores to visit with local arts and crafts, souvenirs, and luxury items. There are some great restaurant choices in the town, and the quality of the food we experienced was exceptional. Take the return ferry back to Asino a few hours before your scheduled train, and make a visit to the fairy tale town of Verona. A small boardwalk connects the towns of Asino and Verona, and makes for a nice afternoon stroll with a gelato. Less than 2 hours from Milan, the high-speed train to Florence is fast and comfortable. The train will arrive in the center of Florence at the Santa Maria Novella station. Along the way, you'll reach speeds of up to 300 kilometers an hour as you pass through Bologna and the Tuscan countryside. Florence is located in the heart of Tuscany and is the birthplace of the Renaissance. With a population of around 400,000 and over 1.5 million in its metropolitan area, Florence is the home to incredible architecture, natural beauty, and Renaissance masterpieces. In this itinerary, we stayed in Florence for 3 days, with a half day in Pisa. One of the options for seeing attractions in Florence is the Firenze card. At €72, you'll get access to the most popular attractions for a 3-day period. You can pick up the card at the tourist office across the street from the train station. We purchased the card on our recent trip, and while it won't necessarily save you a ton of money, it will reduce queues to the attractions and make ticketing easier. The Galleria dell'Accademia is famous for Michelangelo's David, a massive marble statue carved in the early 1500s. The first impression you're met with is how massive this statue really is, as most photographs and videos do not properly convey the scale. The detail and craftsmanship is impeccable. The statue is situated at the end of a long hall and allows you to view the statue from all angles. Flanking the hall is an interesting collection of unfinished Michelangelo statues. The Galleria also has a fine collection of Renaissance paintings and houses 19th century plaster casts by Lorenzo Bartoloni. The casts, although beautiful in their own right, are used to create duplicate bronze statues. The Duomo is arguably the most famous landmark in Florence. Visiting the interior of the Duomo is free, and lines generally move quickly. The real treat is climbing Brunelleschi's dome. About 450 steps will wind through the inside of the Duomo and around the upper gallery to view the interior of the dome. At the top, the views of Florence are breathtaking. As you return to solid ground, make a visit to the pre-Renaissance baptistry to view its golden ceiling of Christian iconography. Dating back to 1299, Palazzo Vecchio is situated prominently in Piazza della Signoria, where various outdoor statues surround the perimeter, including a replica of Michelangelo's David. Upon entering the palazzo, you enter the Hall of 500, built in 1494 and named as such for the purpose of seating the Grand Council, which consisted of 500 members. The walls and ceiling are adorned by massive paintings from Giorgio Vasari, and statues line the perimeter. Upstairs are the Apartment of the Elements, which are covered with murals and gold accents. The famous Hall of Geographical Maps has a collection of 53 maps and a large globe from the 16th century. If you choose to climb the approximately 400 steps of Arnolfo's Tower, you'll be rewarded with amazing views of Florence, including one of the best places to photograph the Duomo. One of the most famous museums in the world, the Uffizi Gallery has an amazing collection of priceless masterpieces, primarily from the Renaissance period. Originally built as an office for the Medici family, the gallery now houses works from Botticelli, Leonardo da Vinci, Raphael, Michelangelo, and Caravaggio. Generally, visitors will spend 3 to 6 hours viewing the works, but you can visit your favorite artists in a few hours. Ponte Vecchio has spanned the Arno River for over 1,000 years, although it has been rebuilt several times due to flooding. Currently, Ponte Vecchio houses numerous jewelry and souvenir stores, but is best admired from either of the neighboring bridges or from the overlook at Piazzale Michelangelo. A short distance from the Ponte Vecchio, the Pitti Palace is situated on the south side of the Arno River. An above-ground corridor connects the Pitti Palace to the Uffizi Gallery through the buildings on the south bank and over the Ponte Vecchio. Florence is a safe city with excellent dining and shopping options to balance out all the sightseeing. The market specializes in fine leather goods and souvenirs, and is surrounded by some excellent restaurants and bars. At night, the city is less crowded, and dinner in a sidewalk cafe or a walk with a gelato adds to its Italian charm. Pisa is a great half-day getaway. Just an hour west of Florence by regional train, Pisa is located in western Tuscany, near the port city of Livorno. Walking to the Piazza del Duomo will take about 20 minutes from the train station. The complex includes the Leaning Tower, the Duomo, and the Baptistry. Tickets are available on site to climb the tower and visit the interiors. The next leg of the trip is the gorgeous Amalfi Coast, a 3¼ hour train ride through the cities of Rome and Naples to Salerno, where we will board a ferry to the postcard town of Positano. For this trip, we traveled first-class coach, which provides more space for luggage and to stretch out. When you arrive in Salerno, walk towards the sea and then down the pier to the Travelmar ticket office for the ferry to Positano. It's best to purchase your tickets in advance through the website to ensure seating. The ferry will be about an hour and 15-minute journey. You'll see picture-perfect towns hugging the coastline, exotic watercraft, and the natural beauty of the Amalfi Coast. The ferry may make a stop in the town of Amalfi for a few minutes to drop off and pick up travelers, but there are also direct ferries that will save about 15 minutes. Positano is a dream destination. Photos of the village are attached to fridges, computer screen backgrounds, and shared online around the world. And being there doesn't disappoint. Pretty much every hotel in Positano is uphill. For about €10 a bag, there is a porter service when you arrive, which is well worth the investment. Look for the mini carts on the pier to take your bags to your hotel without hassle. Depending on your hotel, you may choose to walk through the town, or you can make arrangements for pickup at the pier. We chose to walk the 10 minutes through the town and up the road to our hotel. In this itinerary, we stayed in Positano for 5 days, with a day trip to the Island of Capri. Positano is situated on the side of a cliff, with 2 main roads and plenty of stairs, so be prepared to get a workout. We took advantage of Positano's sleepy village feel as a chance to relax and recharge from the sightseeing of the previous week. With plenty of restaurants, shops, and photo opportunities, the town is built for vacationers. For the most part, Positano caters to luxury travelers. However, there are still plenty of economical choices for the budget-minded tourist. While some of the restaurants can be pricey, we found ourselves visiting Collina's bakery for morning pastries and cappuccinos, and the local grocery store for a supply of fresh vegetables, meats, cheeses, bread, and wine for a sunset dinner on our hotel balcony. Exploring the village by wandering the road up the hill and the alleyways is the best way to experience the wonders of Positano. At every turn is a new photo opportunity or a small bar to enjoy a limoncello while taking in beautiful vistas. For sunseekers, there are 2 beaches in Positano with a couple small hidden coves to add to the mix. The main beach is located right off the main promenade and shopping area. The beach at the Hotel Papetto can be reached by following the pathway along the coast from the pier and is quieter with excellent on-beach restaurants. Day trips from Positano can include visiting other towns and villages down the coast, including the village of Amalfi, or heading up the coast and inland to visit Sorrento, Naples, and the ancient city of Pompeii. We chose to take a short boat trip to the Island of Capri. Capri ferry tickets can be purchased at the pier in Positano or on the boardwalk along the beach. About an hour-long cruise from Positano, the ferry will arrive on the north side of the island in Marina Grande. The marina is the hub to get to various attractions on the island. Small boats provide island tours and trips to the famous Blue Grotto. Check with the kiosks on the pier for tickets and schedules. Just outside the marina, there are a number of options to get to the town of Capri, located at the top of the hill. The vernacular, bus, taxi, renting a scooter, or walking. We chose to walk, which on a hot day probably wasn't the smartest choice. Once you arrive in the main square, the town stretches off in all directions with plenty of luxury shopping and dining options. The side streets offer small local retailers and cafes for a casual lunch. The main square is loud and busy, but the relaxing island feel becomes more evident the further you venture out from the center of Capri. We enjoyed the day wandering the town and doing some window shopping, picking up a few souvenirs, and enjoying the atmosphere of this small island. The Blue Grotto, Anna Capri, Monte Solero, and the Gardens of Augustus are some of the popular attractions for many visitors to the island. After our day in the town of Capri, we chose to take the vernacular down to the marina for the hour-long cruise back to Positano. Getting to Rome from Positano will take about 3.5 hours by ferry and train. From the pier, take the ferry back to Salerno, then the high-speed train to Rome. The train will arrive at Termini Station in the heart of Rome. There are plenty of hotels within walking distance of the train station, and it is a great place to stay for its walking proximity to many attractions and the metro. Rome has a population of 2.8 million people, with the metropolitan area having a population over 4.3 million. Vatican City is located within the city of Rome, but is an independent city-state or country. Rome's major attractions are spread throughout the city, and navigating the maze of streets can be challenging. While Rome has a wealth of things to see and do, many of the major attractions can be visited in a day or two. In this itinerary, we stayed in Rome for a day and a half. Some of the major attractions will have long lines or require advance ticket purchase. Purchase your tickets in advance for times based on your schedule. In this itinerary, tickets will need to be purchased in advance for the Colosseum, the Forum, and the Vatican Museum. Getting around Rome can be accomplished on foot, by metro, or by hop-on, hop-off tour buses. For a full day of sightseeing, start by taking the metro from the Termini station to the Colosso station. With your advance ticket purchase, you'll use the short line for pre-purchased tickets. This should take about 5 to 10 minutes. When entering the Colosseum, head upwards into the stadium. Built in 72 AD, the Colosseum is but a shell of its original form, due mainly to the marble and stone being scavenged for other building projects in the city and several earthquakes over its 2,000-year existence. West of the Colosseum is the Forum. After entering the gates, the Arch of Titus celebrates the 1st century conquest of Jerusalem, with some interesting imagery showcasing the spoils of the victory. Spending an hour or two, you can walk the grounds of the Forum and ascend the Palatine Hill for some great views of modern Rome. Essentially the city center or downtown of ancient Rome, the Forum comprises structures dating back to the 8th century BC and has some incredibly preserved buildings and monuments. Running alongside the Forum, Trajan's Forum is the 1st century expansion of the Forum with a replica of Trajan's Column situated on the north side of the ruins. Across the street is the Altar of the Fatherland, also known as the Monumento Nazionale e Vittorio Emanuele II. This landmark was completed in 1925 in honor of Vittorio Emanuele, the first king of a unified Italy. Just a short walk north is the famous Trevi Fountain. Recently renovated, you'll want to push your way through the crowds to get to the edge of the fountain for the obligatory coin toss over your shoulder, ensuring your future return to Rome. The Pantheon is free to visit and lines generally move quickly. Exploring the inside of the Pantheon will take about 30 minutes. The dome of the Pantheon is constructed entirely of unsupported concrete, and the ingenious design has stood the test of time. Across the river Tiber is St. Peter's Basilica and Vatican City. When entering the main square, keep to the right for the entrance to St. Peter's. You'll spend about 45 minutes to an hour in the Basilica, where you'll be overcome by the grandeur of the architecture and marvel in the incredible works of art, including the Pisa sculpture by Michelangelo. Heading out of St. Peter's, head towards the large obelisk at the center of the square, then turn left and follow the signs to the Vatican Museum, where you will see well-known masterpieces from throughout the centuries, including works by Raphael and the Sistine Chapel paintings by Michelangelo. Although this museum is huge, you can march through it in an hour or two. Take the metro from the Ottaviano station to the Spagna station to visit the Spanish Steps, where there is plenty of luxury shopping and a great selection of restaurants for dinner. As the skies turn to night, head south towards the Trevi Fountain for a completely different experience and an evening gelato. Heading back to Milan is a 3-hour trip through Florence. Milan is uniquely positioned as a great destination for travel in Italy. Serviced by 2 international airports, Malpensa and Linate, flights to and from Milan are readily accessible from around the world. We chose to arrive and depart from the Linate airport due to its relative closeness to the center of Milan, about 10 or 15 minutes by taxi. Malpensa airport to the city center will take about 50 minutes by train or taxi. Geographically, Milan is nicely situated for travel to Lake Como, Venice, Turin, Genoa, Verona, and Bologna within a few hours. Booking high-speed train travel in Italy is easy. Online, you can visit Trenitalia or Italio and book for travel months in advance. For the more spontaneous traveler, tickets can be purchased at self-serve kiosks or the ticket office at the station. When booking online, select travel for mid-morning to early afternoon for cheaper fares. When traveling for day trips, we found regular economy or second class to be sufficient and comfortable. When traveling with luggage, first class or business class provides better options for luggage. When you have completed your booking, you will receive an email with a code for your ticket. You will need to show this code to the conductor on the train. They will usually check your ticket within 10 to 15 minutes after you have departed. Online apps are available to manage these codes. When traveling on regional or intercity trains for day trips, you can purchase your tickets at the station via the kiosks. Regional trains can be crowded and may not include assigned seats. In many cases, you'll be required to validate your ticket at the small yellow or green machines at the beginning of the platform. When you arrive at the train station, check the departure board for proper platform and any delays. Train stations are notoriously busy and tend to attract pickpocketers. Keep your luggage close and valuables hidden away. All high-speed trains will include restrooms and some sort of beverage or food service. For the Trenitalia Frecciarossa trains, there is usually a section of the train for bar service. The Italo line provided on-board vending machines for food and beverage. As service is sometimes unreliable and expensive, it's a good idea to purchase snacks and beverages before you board the train. The Eurorail Pass is also available. For an upfront fee, you can book travel based on a number of voyages and a period of time. We found, for this itinerary at least, it was less expensive to book tickets for each trip, as when adding the service fees associated with Eurorail bookings, it was several €100 more expensive. We appreciate you watching this video of Italy by train. Please feel free to leave a comment, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.